we've got a really good, big community of fans for comic books, movies, games, but there isn't really anything out there for them to get the information. They need to keep digging for it on the internet. We thought we'd make a magazine that has everything in one place for the fans. Be it collecting comics, be it investing in comics, be it the latest reviews, game reviews, movie reviews, anything and everything encompassing geek culture basically. So far it's been pretty good, response has been good, but what we've been doing is we've been sharing sources from other sites.
Right.
We're just, hopefully with this video, starting to roll out a series of our own original content. Do we have the time for that?
Yeah,
it's such a huge and vast topic. I mean, we're looking at different aspects, especially if you're looking at getting comics for investments. I mean, you're looking at the different ages. You're looking at golden age, you're looking at silver age, you're looking at bronze, and you're looking at modern. And then also you need to take into account things like variants, limited runs, first appearances. So these are the little different things that come into play when you're looking at investing in a comic book or buying a comic book and looking at it, appreciating in value, and hopefully one day selling it off for a premium. In our case, hoarding it, I think, isn't it? This particular cover series was done by the late Michael Turner. So it's a connecting set of covers.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm just going to try to hold this up for everyone who can see it. So there we go. So go ahead. So
these covers are not like the regular covers. These were limited runs.
Okay.
So the Wonder Woman, there is only, I believe, 1,200 in the world.
Wow. Okay.
The Batman, there is 1,000 covers in the world. And the Superman, there's only 800 covers in the world. Just because it's rare isn't the only reason you should buy it. I mean, you should like what you buy.
Yeah.
I mean, that artwork really appealed to me. I mean, there are other, perhaps significantly more rarer ones in that comic series, but this art really spoke to me. I liked that art, so I want to keep that in my collection. This is what you should do. You should buy what speaks to you. It's not just the monetary aspect of it. One piece of advice I'd give, I don't think we can really cover the entire gamut of investing in comics right now, but if there's one piece of advice I'd give someone, buy a collection, keep what you love, sell the rest.
Right.
Otherwise you're just going to end up with a huge pile of comics and you're never going to recover what you put into that hobby. With any hobby, keep what you love, sell the rest. Use that money to buy more stuff that you love. Comic encapsulation, this is a bit of a, how would I say, controversial area to some, okay? Because some people say, you buy a comic to read it. Why do you want to slab it? Why do you want to encapsulate it like this?
Sure.
This is done to maintain the quality, keep it intact.
Right.
It's usually done for certain significant issues.
Right.
And sometimes when you have a particular artist or a writer sign on that comic, so the CGC guys are there, they witness that and they seal it and say, hey, it was really this guy that signed it. So you do this to preserve that comic book, right? Comic books, they aren't printed usually in the best of paper.
Sure.
It's really cheap because what are they sold at? $1, $2, $3, those kind of prices.
60 cents back in the
60 cents back in the day.
Yeah.
So over time, these degrade and they fall apart. So you want to preserve those comics, especially if it's a significant comic and it's something that you bought for investment and it's going to appreciate in value. You want to do this, right? So this grading on top, this refers to the condition of the comic.
Right.
10 being a gem mint, being the rarest. Then you get a 9.9, a 9.8, 9.6, 9.4, 9.2 and 9.0, going all the way to 0.5, and I've even seen a 0.1. Okay. For modern comics, when you're buying slabs, I wouldn't recommend anything below a 9.6.
Okay, right.
All right. Anything below a 9.6 wouldn't be something I'd recommend.
Okay.
And if you notice, this says CGC Signature Series.
Yes.
All right. This refers to any comic book that has slabbed and has signature or a remark. A remark is usually when an artist does a bit of a doodle or a drawing.
Right, right.
Okay. So then it's considered a CGC Signature Series or a CGC SS.
Right.
So this is Brave and the Bold 57. Like you said, first appearance of Metamorpho.
Okay.
This particular comic was signed by Ramona Fairdawn.
Wow.
All right. The significance of this is Ramona Fairdawn was one of the first women in the industry back then. She came from an advertising background, and she used to do ad layouts.
Right.
Right. And so she brought that realism, that aesthetic, that beauty, fashion aesthetic to comics, which wasn't there back then. And so it's very fascinating. If you look at her artwork, her style is so different to the other artists, say, for example, Kirby, who used to do very bold and very different. Right now, this is heating up.
Oh, right. Okay.
Why? So all the talks with the Bullseye movie, Marvel recently acquired the rights for Daredevil, or rather they took it away from Netflix.
Right.
So there's a lot of buzz behind Daredevil, and any main characters or any villains from Daredevil, the Daredevil series, is pretty hot right now. So characters like Elektra, Bullseye. Let's forget about getting the main Daredevil first appearance.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Right.
So getting something like this, oh, you're kidding me.
So funny
Are
you
you
mentioned
serious?
Elektra, because I also found this very first appearance of Elektra. So I'm assuming this is also on equal footing there.
This predates Elektra's appearance.
Right.
So this carries a bit more weight.
Right.
Because it's an older issue.
Yeah.
But this is pretty significant as well.
Okay.
And the author for this, Frank Miller.
Oh yeah. Enough said.
Enough said. We want to appeal to a large audience. We don't want to restrict it to particular niche, particular audience.
Right.
Appeal to everyone.
And you guys are online. You have your accounts are active on Facebook and Twitter. Is that right?
Yes, we're looking at getting an Instagram page up and running as well. But right now we're on Twitter and Facebook.
I like the Twitter handle. Not Your Grand's Mag. Where does Not Your Grand's Mag come from?
Well, it's not your typical magazine.
So Not Your Grand's Mag is essentially Not Your Grandma's
magazine. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And the very best of luck to Epic Magazine.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.